This will be the last board in this group.
Zmarzli Viktor against Averin Nikolay. And
So I
this
guess
is
we have a Polish boy now.
another very interesting position from both sides. So what is happening here is that all the minor pieces are still on the board. White has pushed d5 pawn, created a passed pawn there. Black answered, yeah, with c5, trying to get some pawns rolling probably on the queen side, taking away some squares for white's pieces like d4, which is a very important square, and where knight would, if possible, would like to land. And now he has to look for some other route through g3 or through c1 to actually reach some destination. Oh, white has a very annoying pin for the black queen here. Because also we cannot play h6, as then our knight on g6 is not well protected, and queen and the bishop together, well, might win some material there.
Well, although white has to be careful about castling, because then bishop h2 is...
Oh, you and your tricks all the time. Yeah, castle.
Because that's what white probably wants to do.
Yeah, because then we get bishop h2, king h2, knight g4, and suddenly queen is gonna go to g5, and black is gonna be pawn up, and probably also mating in a couple of moves.
Yeah, so white seems to be very active, but he has to be careful for sure. Maybe h3 is a possibility.
Knight a4 was played, going for the pawn.
But probably black can just play
b6, if they wish so.
I was thinking bishop d7.
Oh, also bishop d7 is definitely a possible move. And
the idea of bishop d7 is that after knight c5, black wants to play rook c8. Question if it works. There isn't... No, knight b7?
First we can do this. As you cannot take with the queen, because then there is knight d7, and that actually works.
Okay, but still knight... queen.
Pawn takes. Here, here, here. What is the situation?
Rook e2.
Rook e2.
Or better, rook b2, and suddenly the knight has no moves.
Yeah, rook b2 or rook c7, and the knight is trapped.
So at the moment, position is equal.
Oh, it's not trapped.
Still c6.
But rook e2 is
so
definitely
e2,
good enough, and black is having quite a big advantage.
So yeah, 2 pieces for the rook, but for the rook and a pawn, so it's still not so easy, and especially that your pawns are doubled.
Yeah, but in this position where my bishops are so active, it feels like it's an advantage for black.
Yeah, but it's very complicated position, so let's see. So knight a4.
Bishop d7 is certainly not the only possible move. What about just playing...
b6, yeah?
Yeah, b6. Okay, now probably white wants to take on f6. The idea is that if queen b6, then the pawn on queen f6, then knight b6 loses a pawn. Although I'm still not convinced that this is that good for white to win this pawn, but that's a pawn after all. Another move is that I didn't mention before, but it looks interesting, and just to play c4 here. Idea being that after queen c4 we get to play b5, so this is not possible. And so knight will have to retreat sometime to c3, thus losing a lot of time, but it gives up the very important square on d4. So yeah, very interesting moment to choose the best way from the black side to play on. So many options, all are having some pluses and also some minuses, so...
It's a very complicated position, unclear.
Okay, we can play h6, I guess, to simplify the things from the black side.
Yeah, but then probably white will have to take on f6.
Queen f6?
Maybe.
Knight b6, I assume?
Yeah.
And just
Exchange. and castle. But it still seems like black is...
Yeah, that's why I said simplify the things from the black side, because this feels like simply a little more pleasant for black, as the black bishop is nicely blocking the pawn, controlling so many squares, while white bishop is being a little bit restricted by their own pawn on d5, and soon enough black will just start to expand with queen side.
Yeah, let's see how it develops. Usually in such position when a pawn is blocked, such d5 pawn is blocked on d6, and then black has more pawns on the queen side, and they can also become pretty dangerous. But let's see, we have board ready. One of your requests is ready, our camera found it. So